Back at it again with the Camaro. So we're just going to start this off real quick with showing you why I believe that I had zero traction for the last however long on these stupid wheels. First time trying radials, so I mean they're not stupid. They're just takes a minute to get used to and set up. But so check this out. My this is a torque arm, by the way. So the way this is set up for my drag slicks. Notice it's down close to the bottom. There's one hole underneath it. It is not set in the neutral position. The neutral position is that hole right there, if you can see it. It's rusty. Oh yeah, you can see it that way. So what that means is it does not work for drag radials at all, clearly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm actually gonna bring it up 2 holes. So we'll go up to right there, maybe to that top one, who knows. That'll cause a huge issue with traction on these radials. Who'd have known, huh? I only set this up like 3 years ago. Second, that scraping noise, I'm like, oh yeah, it's no big deal, don't worry about it. I found what was scraping. My caliper. This is such a close tolerance that if the caliper moves just a little bit, it scrapes. So I loosened it, shoved the caliper in, tightened it down really tight, so now it clears and no longer scrapes. And it doesn't scrape all the way around. That could be just the barrel itself. So, oops. Obviously you can see this side is fine. Also, I just added some degrees to this on the tie rods. Might not be able to tell, but they're wearing more on this side than this side. This one's close to the wear bars. This one's still got a little bit, so I just gave it some toe out. That should help with that from cupping. Next, I'm gonna do an oil change. I'm gonna pull the turbo again. And not only does this side leak, but that side does as well. So I'm gonna just order new crap for that. We'll just replace that. And I have a new pulley. I have a balancer actually to go in on there so that I don't fling that off this next time. Because they kind of do separate sometimes. Also, I bought a new shifter. So I bought a ratchet shifter for the Turbo 400. So I can stop missing neutral. It'll be nice to just be able to smack it into gear instead of having to worry about if I'm gonna miss the gear and hit neutral or not. Well, I went and had popped the turbo kit off and believe it or not, there were 2 exhaust leaks. Actually, 2 on just one, and then that whole backside. Bolts came loose, so I'm gonna try and figure out why. And run those back over the belt sander and then try and torque them down and maybe put a lock washer on them. Getting tired of doing exhaust leak stuff. It's pretty little frustrating. But in other news, I tried pulling off my crank pulley. I broke my pullers, so I'm gonna go rent one and get that pulled off. The shifter is in. Got that doodad in there. Let's see, I can probably show you guys up in the car. So that guy is in there. It was pretty easy to go in. Kind of close to the front, but it's gonna work. Ain't no big thing. And then I did adjust this guy. So now we were down right here on this bottom one. Went up 2, hopefully that's enough. Had to pull the drive shaft to get it in there. No big deal. The car's back together now. I just trying to slap this together. I ran into some issues. So when putting this side back on, so I had 2 nuts that ended up taking the threads off on this side. Not really ideal, kind of sucked. So I had to pull all back apart again and fix them. So I have 2 bolts now in there. I think they'll be doing all right. But it's together. I did not do my crank pulley on this. I'm running out of time. I'm going racing tomorrow, so I figure I'll just do that later. It's gonna have to be done later. I ended up having to change the adjustment on this. I had it in the front side. The instructions, I don't think they were great, but I was able to figure it out. It wasn't shifting all the way correct through the gears, so I think that's it now. I'm gonna start up and find out. Got the oil changed. Everything looked pretty good through it. There was a big glob on the magnet on this. The rest of the oil looked really good, actually. And the radiator, the trans fan's all hooked up now and good to go. I need to just throw some more zip ties on this so that it's tight. I think we're good. So I'm gonna get this down on the ground, get it up to temp, let's cycle through, see if I can hear that trans fan kick on, so that little guy right there that the wire's going to, that is a thermostat, so I will see if that actually works and cycles. I don't know what temp it is. It probably says on the instructions, but other than that, let's go racing. Oh, real quick too, check it. That wasn't all I wanted to show you, but I think it's funny. I did, however, put a winch on my trailer, so hopefully it's not a bad omen. It's just in case. I mean, things happen, right? And I'm tired of winching up cars that don't run when I go pick them up. So it's not just for tomorrow, but it's not gonna hurt, is all I'm gonna say, all right?